There's something about today's story that I absolutely love. It is the compassion and care that Jesus has for people that don't have it all together, that really aren't even right with God. You know, today, if you sat down and had dinner with someone who works for the IRS, it really wouldn't be that big a deal. Be like, hey, it's another person. They happen to help collect taxes. But in the first century in Israel, tax collectors were jerks. Because not only would they collect your taxes, they'd take some extra to keep for themselves. And if you were Jewish and a tax collector, that was an even bigger problem, because you were considered a traitor to your people working for the Roman government. And yet Jesus goes to Matthew and he says, come follow me. And he's eating at Matthew's house with all these other people that have messed up, who've sinned against God, who are, they're just not good enough. And what does Jesus say? Well, he says, I haven't come to call the healthy. I haven't come to be a doctor to the healthy. I've come for the sick. He explains to the religious leaders that this isn't about giving you guys a pat on the shoulder for doing supposedly all the right things, at least on the outside. This is about calling people who don't have it all together and inviting them to the party, inviting them into God's kingdom, showing him that God has come, that God is bringing his mercy to people, even people that have royally messed up and don't have it all together. Maybe you feel like you don't have it all together. Life is just kind of a mess. Things aren't working out. You feel like you're just not good enough for God, that you haven't cleaned yourself up well enough. But this story reminds us that we too are invited into the party, that Jesus calls us into his kingdom to be forgiven, to be loved, and to be transformed, to have our identity changed through him. Like Matthew, like the sinners in the story, we sinners too are invited to the party.